Morning, everybody. Welcome to the Seneca County Board of Commissioner meeting. Today's Thursday, September 26th, 2024, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please pray with me. Dear Lord, please help to give us your wisdom and guidance here as we go to discuss county business and affairs. Help us to always represent the residents the best way we can and as you see fit. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Good. Roll call.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Here.
Commissioner Schuff?
Here.
Commissioner Frankert's absent.
Okay, so at this time I'll accept the motion to approve the digital audio recordings of our previous board session, Thursday, September 19th, 2024.
So moved.
I'll second that. Roll call.
Commissioner Schuff?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes. This time I'll turn the meeting over to Barb Patterson, County Administrator. We have a bid opening.
I'll pass out the attendance sheet. Everyone must sign, please.
Appreciate if you would all sign. This is for our CDBG grant money.
Correct. For the City of
Fostoria.
City of Fostoria ADA Compliance and Site Updates Project. I have two bids. And the bid estimate, the engineer's estimate is $116,230.61. The first bid is from ACI Construction Company Incorporated, and their bid is $113,900. And the second bid is from D2 Excavating, and their excuse me, and their bid is $83,780.
Okay, so you will,
I will pass this along to, I believe it will need to go to Julie and Renee Smith at FEDC, and we will proceed from there.
and look it over. Okay. Thank you. So we have an addition to the agenda. I've invited Greg. He used to be with Pogemeyer. What's the name of the firm now?
Kleinfeld.
It's not Kleinfeld. I always forget that.
That's okay.
So the commissioners from Seneca County, Sandusky County, and Ottawa County fronted some money. We were awarded a grant to conduct a mental health jail study. Mirsha's here with the Board of Mental Health, so you're here to give us a quick update. Appreciate that. We're sliding you in. Sandusky County earlier, Ottawa County later, and
You're in between.
you can check the box for us in between. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Glad to have you.
I'm going to hand out just a PowerPoint that we'll be referring to today. And as Commissioner indicated, we were, I think the board is aware that we,
Thank you.
as Commissioner said, Ottawa, Sandusky, Seneca County went together over a year ago to seek funding from the State of Ohio Bureau of Adult Detention to perform a study to evaluate the feasibility of a facility that would handle a certain population segment that was in each of your jails that is causing, obviously, I think everyone recognizes the jails, when those jails were designed, were not meant for that particular population segment. And so we are calling this facility right now is the Regional Secure Behavioral Health Treatment Facility. And we have been working on this for a number of months now. And today's purpose, as the Commissioner indicated, we were in Sandusky County this morning, and we folks now than we need with updating out of county. And we, as you all know, there's a working group from the 3 counties that's continuing to meet and discuss this, and so we will continue to have these working group meetings. What we wanted to do today is just provide you an overview, kind of letting you know where we're at. As Commissioners, you indicated, Mirchaw has been, we reached out to, well, even when we were pursuing the grant for this, Mirchaw was very helpful during that process, but now that we are into it, we reached out to Mirchaw very early and has been just very helpful, very direct. I mean, just telling us, advising us where to go, and just so we, again, public really appreciate the role he is playing, which is absolutely critical in this going forward. So what I'd like to do today is just kind of page through this with you, and again, kind of give you the overview. Mirchaw and I are going to kind of cover different pages in this, but again, it's just a kind of, it's going to be just a short overview, and just to kind of give you, let you know where we're at, kind of give you some, what kind of lies ahead. So if you turn to the first page, you can, the scope of work. So as I said to the commissioners in Sandusky County, so if you, this morning, so if you're saying, well, gosh, what have you guys been doing the last number of months? Well, these are the tasks we've been doing, and so we've had to work with each of the 3 sheriff's office, because obviously that's where inmates, go through that process. And they've got full-time things they're doing, so we obviously had to be very sensitive to their schedules and the demands on their positions. So kind of navigating, kind of getting that data, we were able to secure the data we needed. And again, Mirchaw was very helpful in helping us do all that. So we're going to talk about that. We've had a chance to then inventory the community-based services and what that consists of. We've developed a kind of a profile of the actual detainees, which came through, again, some consensus among all 3 counties. And then we have an initial idea of what a building scope, what the scope of that could be. And these are tasks that have been completed over the last number of months, and these are tasks we will continue to build upon as we continue on with this study. And as we said, the working group, which is made up of all 3 counties, primarily the sheriffs and their staffs, designated staffs from each county, and they're coming together. So if you turn to task 1, we call assessment of facilities. We've had the chance to go through each county and look at their substance abuse. We've been able to collect patient data. You can see kind of in the PowerPoint there's those 6 items that we've been doing. We've been reviewing staffing requirements, determining their assessment abilities, and also doing an inventory of just the physical plant, just what their facilities look like in terms of trying to deal with this particular population base. If you turn to the next page on task 2, Mirchaw, could you speak to that, please?
So each of the 3 county jails already provide, at some level, both mental health and addiction services in the jail. So we assess all of our state-certified mental health and addiction services providers. They go in the county jails and provide their services. We wanted to see exactly what each county is receiving and what kind of services are already taking place.
I think the critical part of that is that, I think, as we went into this, the idea was we weren't going to start from scratch. We were going to say, okay, this is what you're doing now, and how can we, maximize that or continue to utilize those services. The next task, which again I'll maybe defer to Mirchaw again, is came up with a kind of a profile of the types of folks that would be directed to this kind of facility.
Correct. So in the plan for this regional facility, we really focus on individuals who are arrested who suffer from moderate or severe mental illness, individuals upon arrest who show suicidal ideations or suicidal thoughts, as well as individuals who suffer from alcohol or substance use disorder, correct? So those will be the 3 main profiles of individuals who we are looking to serve at this regional facility. And then obviously to provide some enhanced services at this facility, including psychotropic medications, therapies, various therapies, individual and group counseling, as well as medication-assisted treatment for individuals suffering with alcohol or drug use.
And again, at the very beginning of this, where this whole concept came from was, again, this is the population that each of the sheriffs realized that this is challenging for them to deal with in their current facilities the way they are. Turning the page, you can see we have, again, a first draft. As always, this is, when you're planning a facility, you got to start from the first draft. Doesn't mean it's necessarily the final draft. But you can see based on the analysis or the data that we've been able to gather, this is the various components in the facility. It's, at this point, we are suggesting a 60-bed facility which would be shared by all 3 counties. And you can again see the various breakout of space, and you can see at the bottom of there, so what this basically works out to a little over 48,000 square feet. And again, not the final number, but just a starting number. And you can see on the right-hand side of your page, again, this is just the makeup of the facility is a continuation of healthcare, substance abuse disorders, and suicide prevention. So that's the type of population would be in this facility. The last 2 pages is just really kind of more of a graphic display of what we're trying to accomplish is on task 5 is you can see we have obviously the 3 counties and their jails, and you kind of see that little triangle there, which is meant to represent this population, the specific population that we're talking about. So if you turn the page, and if you can see if each of that population group can get redirected to another facility, it'll free up space and free up services and free up staff in the other, in the existing jails. And that's really one of the goals of this, is to try to relieve a lot of the issues that are happening in the current jails and redirecting that to a facility where you would have proper facilities, proper staff. And then the final page is the mental health housing units. So when we said that 48,000 square foot facility with 60 beds, so those 60 beds are going to be distributed in housing units. And so what would be in a housing unit, what type of elements would be in that? And you can see that items 1 through 6 identified that is the consensus, the general thinking among everybody as far as what the specific services and capabilities would be in each of those housing units. So that just gives you, again, it was important to us as a planning team to speak to each of you, the commissioners, just to, again, you've been very supportive of this study, and so we just wanted to kind of, we have been working for the last number of months. We're going to continue to work, so again, we just wanted to appreciate you giving us a little time on your agenda, and look forward to future conversations with you all.
This is probably one last comment. Important to note that, especially based on this initial design, is for individuals who are arrested to still go to their home county jail first, get through an assessment process that will be uniform across the 3 county jails, and then be transferred to this regional facility. So we will not be, upon arrest, directly going to this regional facility. You still have to go to your home county jail first.
And again, the planning group, what's so important, the planning group of a representation from all 3 of you, is because there's not a facility like this in Ohio. So we're collectively, we're all creating this. And so there's no manual on how to do this. So that's why we're all talking about. So operationally, what Miroslav said, that becomes very important, because, this idea of, all right, we want to screen, and this is not us, this is the staff telling you, we think that's the best way to do this, screen at a local jail before so they have to get, we go through some process before you just go here. And so again, this is the collective thinking of all 3 counties.
In concept, I really like it, because at the jail, it's hard to decipher mental illness from the criminals aspect of it. How's the setup inside? For the individuals that go to this facility, is it like an open concept where you have the 60 beds, or is it kind of like a jail as well? Are they?
It's housing units, Commissioner.
Housing units?
So yes, that would be, potential, they could have it like individual cells.
Is 60 beds enough?
Well,
I'm just asking.
Yeah, that's the number. I personally can't tell you how we arrived at 60 beds. Our team can, and again, in these more group discussions, we talk about that. But
20 each county?
Yeah, so I guess that's just the starting point.
Yeah.
But that's the final point, but we're the suggestion right now is we start off with 20 per county.
Do you foresee people that want to avoid jail doing a One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Jack Nicholson type thing to divert jail to go to this facility as opposed? Do you think that?
So, Commissioner, right now, all 3 county jails actually they conduct some sort of assessment at booking process. Individuals right now who struggle with mental illness, they already have a process to be transferred to the state hospital. The state hospital for this region is in Lucas County, Northwest Ohio, a psychiatric hospital. Really, the challenge for the county jails locally in Northwest Ohio and for the sheriffs is that it's extremely hard to get a bed, it's extremely hard to get in. We need to keep individuals on a suicide watch sometimes for 10, 12 days before a bed is available. So really, this was one of the main reasons this concept even started. How can we take care of them more locally here versus going there? So it's a very strict process to get into the state hospital, but sometimes what you mentioned, we already facing some of those challenges. You know, are the individual making statements just because they want to transfer, or the individual is making statements because they truly suffer from, let's say, mental illness? So it's something that our professionals will have to decide upon the assessment.
Gotcha, okay, thank you.
I don't have any other questions.
Great.
So we'll be in touch, right?
Right? Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys can sneak out if you want.
All right. Thank you all.
Appreciate it. Glad we could fit you in.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you, yes. Do we have a copy, do we have a packet for Mr. Franker? We have one? Okay. Good. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay, Morgan, should I turn, how do we do this? We have some ditch hearings,
Yep.
we have some reports. You want to take over?
Sure.
Come on up. Bring whoever you want
It's
up.
going to be your guys' setup.
Make sure you read that.
The agenda says ditch hearings, so we're turning it over to you.
Yes. And we'll let Andrea speak.
And, yeah, well, you're bringing the whole team in.
Yeah.
I see that, yeah.
I'm Andrea Smythe. I'm the Seneca County Ditch Maintenance Technician at the Conservation District. In there you have a list of the ditches or drainage structures that are on the schedule for the hearing this year. There's 71 in total, and any changes to percentage and base are strictly based on any community changes that landowners have made in splitting, combining parcels, or land use codes. So residential, commercial, whatever their needs are. So those have been verified through the county auditor's office, and the changes are listed per packet for each drainage structure. It'll tell you if the base is raised, lowered, or remain the same. While I'm here, I'd like to give also a basic overview of what our drainage structure repair maintenance year consists of.
Sure.
Spring, we go out and we do our inspections. Those usually are wrapped up around late May. At that same time, tile cards are distributed to each member or leader of a drainage structure group that's just a tile, and those people go out and perform their own inspection to just verify with me if we need to perform a more in-depth inspection. So they'll mark the card yes or no as indicated, and then I keep record of that. After ditch inspections are completed, then we start commencing the tile inspections once all those cards have been collected. If there are any structures that are in need of maintenance, ditch or tile, we then go through and create our work orders based off of our inspection findings. Those work orders then indicate our budget for the year, which is provided to you guys in a collection report in either July or August. And none of the work that has been inspected in that spring season of that year, that calendar year, is performed until after collection. So our department always works a year behind. And I think a lot of people in the community don't recognize that, because we can't perform the work if the money's not there. We do keep accurate records of all drainage structures for their account balances and charge outs for work that's done. And if anybody has any questions, they can call our office directly, because I can't help them if they don't communicate with me. If I go out and perform an inspection and I do meet with the landowner, I usually tell them they won't hear from me until something's been scheduled. So if there's anything that comes up, or they want the work done faster, they need to call my office directly, and we'll try to figure out a plan. If they choose to do the work on their own, they have that right as landowner, but I cannot reimburse them unless I've already got a work order in place to show a paper trail for allocated funds. And if they want to be reimbursed, they can come into the office and fill out the appropriate paperwork. So I just want to make that clear. I know there may be people here with complaints today, but that's how our office operates based off of Ohio Revised Code 6131, 6137.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a little disagreement on that. If you cut your arm, you go to the hospital, they don't have the money before you get it done.
Can you state your name, please? for the-
Gary Weller, farm owner,
Gary?
yeah.
Okay, Gary Weller, farm owner. Okay, yes, sir, go ahead.
So why is this way, a year late? This tile, I just finally dug it out myself and fixed it. Now they're gonna charge my taxes for it. Don't make sense.
The work order had already been placed. He did not notify our office that he
You
would be
didn't look at it.
performing. We did look at it. I have documentation that we met with you. I went into your
You
home.
met, yeah, you met with me,
Met
but you
you.
didn't look at it.
We went out and looked at it without you because you had other things to perform that day. I had another technician with me named Rick Passinger, who is witness, and I have record of all of my involvement with this tile. And I have no record of him calling into my office to complain that it wasn't done fast enough. I do keep an open call record for anything that I receive in office.
Did you fill out the proper paperwork?
I just filled out the card that said that I needed some help on it.
I have that card
And
here.
they never said, other than come out and looked at it, at me, they never looked at it as far as I know. And then
I met with him
I
that
just
day.
filled
I
out
went
the
into his
card, I've
home.
got the cards at home, where I filled it out.
This is the card, the location. This is the work order with the inspection date of June 7th.
I fixed it, nobody done anything. Like I say, you don't sew a hand up, then worry about the money. Or they want the money before.
Does this happen very often?
No.
Yeah.
Usually if there
First time
is
I've
an
heard of
issue
it.
with a time frame for somebody, they call me directly and let me know that they would like it done faster, and I will try my best to be a customer service person and provide the help that they're asking. But I am limited to what I can do with whatever money is in each structure's account.
So is your, Mr. Weller, is your beef that you want paid?
What's
You
that?
fixed the tile, but you want paid, so if you want paid, you have to go through the...
No, I just didn't want to take it out. They didn't do anything, so I don't want to take it out of my
It had
taxes.
already been allocated
Yeah,
and approved in the budget this year, and he did not notify our office he was going to perform the work himself.
okay, so what are you asking us to do?
I'm asking that to resolve this situation,
Okay,
we reimburse him, and he comes in and fills out the appropriate paperwork. We have already approved for the funds to be collected, so when they're collected, he can be reimbursed.
sounds like...
Does that sound like a good compromise to
Sounds like
you?
we can settle it, but going forward, and you know, till I became commissioner, you really don't realize government and all the things that have to go on, right, Mr. Weller? You're a farmer, I live in the country. But we do have all these policies, procedures, there's a lot going on, and they have to have, you know, they have to have a process that there's just too many moving parts. And when someone gets outside of that, it's just hard, you know, we don't want people coming in all the time. So I think this could be settled
Again,
with you fill out the paperwork, you'll get reimbursed, and we should be in good shape. So if that's, the two of you are in agreement on that, what do we need to do? Are we
Nothing
good
that I'm
here? Do we
aware
need to
of.
do anything
I'm in
formally?
agreement, I just wanted to make it more publicly aware that our
Okay.
program operates a year behind.
Good.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you did a good job of explaining it.
That's all
I
right.
think you'll be made whole, and we'll go from there. Is that good? So if this, you know, that's our position, we support this right here, so if anything's different than that, we're gonna go back to what we're talking about right now. And if we can't resolve it, you have to go to the prosecutor and resolve it.
Okay.
We're good, so I appreciate,
I will meet with you in office and take care of the paperwork to get you compensated. It's not fair that you did the work and you're not compensated, I agree for that. So, thank you.
thank you. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in and, you know, talking it through. So Andrea, is there anything else you need? Was that the one thing you wanted to
That's the
bring
one
up
thing I wanted to
yourself? There's
clarify
other
today.
things today,
Yep.
but are we
I'm
good with that? Are you good with that?
Yeah.
Barb, makes sense? Okay, you're free to go, Mr. Weller, and thanks for coming in,
Okay.
and, good, nice job, thank you. Okay, so we'll go to the next, or is that all we need today?
Yeah, just
I thought we
your
had a couple
approval of the.
Yeah, and then we just need
sorry.
to, we just need to approve the,
Yes.
okay. And is that,
I
Now
don't
or
have
later?
anything, other than you guys actually formally approving it as a motion. I don't think it has to be in a resolution of any kind.
yeah,
So-
we've done this. Okay, someone want to help me with the motion?
Well, I guess it's just an approval of their six-year ditch hearings that's been provided to us
Yeah.
that we approve them.
Yeah, I'll make a motion
As
that
presented.
we approve the 6 ditch hearing as presented, the approval.
Second, President Paradiso.
Okay, any other discussion? You guys want to add anything? We've been doing this a long time. Good?
Good, thank you.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Chef,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes. Nice job, you handled that real well, and you're free to go. Take it. Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
Yeah.
Court adjourned.
Nice job, you guys.
I'm glad they shook hands afterwards.
Always don't have endings like that, but that's nice. Okay, commissioner reports.
Sure. Thank you. All right, so last Friday, Commissioner Paradiso and I, we went out to the Primitive Village for like the opening ceremony, I guess you could say. Made the color guard out there, the mayor, 2 of the 3 commissioners. They had all the 4th graders. I bet there's 4th graders here. Pretty much they had the whole county there.
500 fourth graders.
500. Newry, Goal, Seneca East, Hopewell, Calvert, Columbia, and I think about everybody in the county except for Fostoria. Anyway, that was nice to see that. The activities going on and the kids kind of getting a little history lesson. Hopefully they appreciate that, but always enjoy that. Saturday we had the Heritage Festival Parade, well attended. All 3 commissioners and Barb were there for that. I'll tell you what, it's getting expensive buying all this candy every parade. We're dropping a lot of money every couple months, but yeah, it was fun to see.
Kids enjoy that.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to get the real cheap candy. You gotta get the decent stuff so you can throw it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Janet, she drove Bill's truck and had a little lapse there, a little gap. She
Points we were running.
she drives like it's a NASCAR race, so it's hard for us to keep up. So we also had the grand opening of the Republican headquarters here in downtown Tiffin. Congressman Lada, Senator Reineke, Representative Click were in attendance, so it's always nice. They come down here to Seneca County quite a bit. I think they represent the district well. It was nice kind of catching up with them, having some conversations of happenings here in the state and federal level. So look forward to keeping up good communications with them. Tuesday here at the office had a meeting with the administrator. We had our land bank meeting, getting rid of condemned and dilapidated properties. So things are moving forward there. Hopefully get some good news on some grants that Renee is working on, but she's done a fantastic job of working the land bank here for the county, and just appreciate the team and hard work that goes into that. So that's all I got.
Yeah, good. Just want to add, we had a joint EMS meeting last Thursday. Director Hafley's here. You know, the focus is on operations really, right, Chief? We've got 4 squads, and we've got growing pains, and we've got paid people and volunteers, and vacations, and radios and everything. So I commend the effort that we're just focused on trying to get our policies, procedures, our operations, our communication, those kind of things in place. Barb, of course, is directly involved in that. So it's all positive. It's hard work. It's challenging sometimes, but you know, failure's not an option, right, Chief? We're gonna continue to improve and deliver good service to the citizens of Seneca County. So you keep that up. I'll just put that plug in for now. that's really all I have as a overview, but,
have one
yeah,
more.
one more thought.
Yeah, real quick, today at 3 o'clock, they are laying the cornerstone for the community kitchen. It's been a long time in the works, so excited about that. Should be a good turnout. Also, today I have a design committee meeting at 4. The Main Street Summit is today, that's at 5:30 or 6. I'm not going to be able to make it, so I don't know if we'll have a rep from our office or not, but I think this will be the first year I've missed since they've started doing it, so just wanted to kind of let the public know some events here that are taking place today.
John was out there, we were ribbon cutting at the movie theater at 4 yesterday, that was well attended, and it was, local people got together. It's interesting, they spoke about the economic impact, and the 2 restaurants by the theater, and the theater closed after about 3 or 4 days. They were asking, hey, when you gonna open, when you gonna open? Because their business dropped. So the impact of a business closing is just, that became apparent, and all those other, there was others that I'm missing on that, but John, you were there, so appreciate you going out. Yeah, that's great. So give a little credit to that. Thank you.
I just have a couple of things. We received a thank you note from Janet Schuler. She was the Senior of the Year. She just said it's an honor to serve the people of Attica and the surrounding area. And she really thanked you guys for the proclamation.
She's so nice. John, class of 1958, Fremont St. Joe. She graduated. She went to St. Joe. Yeah.
So then, the other things that I have, just to let you know that the CCAO annual conference will be in December. I believe it starts December 3rd. This says the 4th through the 6th, so there must be something on the 3rd in the evening. But that'll be at the Hilton in Columbus. So I can get you guys signed up and get registered, and hotel reservations. Just let me know and I can take care of that.
Be nice to get in where the actual event is or the conference, because I remember a few years back we had to go.
Yes,
few
that's
blocks
why
over.
I'm trying. I'm bringing it up because the rooms tend to go fairly quickly. So if I can get rooms saved for us, we can at least be in the venue. So it's not.
I plan on going. Are you allowed to attend that even if you're not a commissioner?
Yes, they actually do have. I believe when Bill was coming in, he had to pay for himself to go, but he can attend. So Brett, if you're interested, you could attend because I think they have a special
That'd be
session
good if you
for
could
incoming commissioners.
We'll get it to you.
I can get it to you.
That's fine.
4
So
to 6 or something. There's
yeah. So
program.
they're still
She'll set you
working.
up.
They're still working on the agenda. I haven't seen that, but they have set out save the dates kind of
Be a good
thing,
thing to
so.
go to.
Because they do for the new commissioners, they have, I believe it might be a day session of
Yeah.
like things that you may run into. So.
Yeah, that was good, the new commissioner training was, I always thought that was a good thing, because it's hard to understand what you're doing.
Thanks, Ben.
I run into guys that have stories about you when you were down here. And I don't think you were in those sessions.
I was in Columbus.
Yeah.
The other thing I have sales tax for you that was collected in September. I didn't have it in time for the last meeting, so I want to bring it to you now. Collected in September, but would have been for sales in July. It's always 2 months behind, or approximately 2 months behind. $973,392.75. That is down 4% from the previous year, or almost $45,000. It's only down, and I say only lightly, down $3,423 from last month.
3,400.
$3,400 from last month.
So year to date. where
So
we-
year to date,
percentage.
we should be at 75%, and we are at 71.77%. So we're under by 3.23%. And that's been consistent this year. I don't know that we've ever, it's been a consistent, that 3% number has been very
Still,
consistent.
we don't seem to be able to catch it.
Yeah, so
Make it up.
I don't know what's happening as far, next month, we should have the true up portion from the sales tax holiday in August. That was, I believe, 8 or 10 days of,
Yeah,
and that was a lot of, I mean, it was items up to $500 that were tax exempt.
Did the state make
So-
any sort of ruling yet on
They
how
have
they're?
not decided how they're going to figure that out. I have not heard anything on that,
so we're not gonna close the gap next month.
probably not, so,
Tom, we need you to go buy a new car, sometime this week.
So, yeah, so that's always, you know, sales tax is always interesting, every month to see what we come with, so. I do have a request from the, dog warden's office. She is asking to increase some of the fees that are charged for, like, when you surrender a dog, or when you have dogs get boarded. They collect a dog and they board it for 5 days while the owner finally comes to collect, or the veterinary fees that we have. If we have a dog that has been involved in an accident, we get called to take the dog. We have right now, the dog warden actually just pays those veterinary fees. And if the owner comes to collect their dog, we cannot charge back those veterinary fees at this point.
We
So
need to fix
she's
that.
asking, and per ORC, she has completed the study. So there has to be a study conducted, and basically it's to determine the cost of providing these services, and she has done that. So upon per ORC section 95517, upon completion of that study, the board shall hold a public meeting at a regular or special board meeting after giving reasonable notice in the newspaper. So we'd have to have a hearing before this could go into effect. And then if this went into effect, the fee increase would begin at the beginning of 2025.
Do we know,
It's based on
is it a
calendar.
particular percentage or price, like?
So what she had given, so the previous resolution was passed there was an amendment, it was originally passed in 2008, and then there was an amendment in 2017 to increase rates. And those currently, for a dog surrender, currently, it is a $20 fee. She is requesting that it be increased to $50,
That's what I was thinking.
because we have a lot of costs associated. We still have to board that dog. We still have to try to find, someone else to take that dog.
Well, it's not right. I mean, if they're gonna surrender the dog at $20 and we have to take it to the vet, and got a couple $100
Correct.
bills, and they come back and get it in
Correct.
5 days, that shouldn't go on the taxpayer.
The boarding fee currently is $8 a day. Currently $8 a day, and she would like to increase that to $10 a day. I mean, that's not a large jump, but
Make it 12.
I think part of it is it's just, round number makes it a little easier, because most of these people have to pay in cash when they come out. So, but I just bringing it to your attention that she would like to hold a public hearing.
Can it be like during one of our meetings?
Yes, it can be just a regular meeting, just like we do any other public hearing, like we do alley vacation or annexation or anything like that.
Scheduler.
It just needs to be done and advertised, so it would be the end of October, because we have to advertise, obviously, the appropriate amount of time.
You can
And
see all the fees line by line.
so she just brought it to my attention and is just requesting that we have that public hearing.
So for public comments, everyone knows, the dog warden, we hate taxes. So, to raise fees, to vote for anything like that, I mean, I just have a hard time with it. This is a situation where she has to pay, she's self-supporting. Okay, so the people in the county that have dogs need to pay for the dogs. If you don't have a dog, we're not taking general fund money and paying her and that kind of thing, right?
Correct.
So Kelly's done a great job out there. Costs have gone up. If she, in her dog warden department, wants to have an open hearing and discuss the reasons why she needs a raise, I would support that. And again, the people that would pay the increased fees were these approved would be people that take their dogs there. Okay,
Yeah, or
so-
she collect, yeah, if
or
she's
she
collecting
collects.
elect a dog, yeah.
So it all has to do with her paying her own bills, and her own budget, and people with dogs. So on that basis, not that there's everything, it can be different, but in this situation, that's how it is.
Yeah,
So I have no
Yep.
problem with the hearing. She would come in, you'll see the lines, people
Yeah.
can come in and,
yeah, because the dog warden is funded based solely on these fees and dog licenses.
yeah,
That's how she gets all of her money.
yeah.
And if she, like I said, she just,
No, I'd like to get this talked about.
Yeah.
just so you're aware, the reason she's asking for the veterinary fees is because the fees have gotten, some of them have gotten out of hand. And it just bites into that budget and her being able to operate, efficiently. She just recently had a dog that, had to have a major surgery, and it was quite a bit of money because it was hit, and she was the one that was called to take the dog, so she has to, take it to the vet, and so.
So that dog gets hit, we doctor it back up, and it's out there at the shelter, and nobody takes it.
Yeah, it either, she
She
tries,
absorbs it, yeah.
she tries very hard to, and in those cases, I think that's more of why she wants these veterinary fees, so that she can go back on the dog owner.
So
To
if they
bring-
come to get their dog back, they'll have to,
I'm not exactly sure how all of that
If they have a
works.
tag, I mean, you can go to the owner, but some are
But
straight.
sometimes the fees don't get, at this point, the fees don't get added to the dog owner to pay back, and that's why she's asking
That's
for
not
it now.
right.
Yeah,
let's talk about it.
so I can have her schedule, I'll talk with her and we can get a hearing scheduled, and we'll just have it at a regular board meeting.
Good.
Thank you.
I think that's all I have right
I
now.
just want to bring up old business.
Okay.
This has to do with the budget, and I don't want to be the guy that, is the disciplinarian or whatever, but I do want to make a comment so everybody's listening. We are trending more than 3% behind in our sales tax budget. Yes or no? That's what you're saying,
Yes.
year-to-date, we're 3% behind. Our sales tax budget was $12 million.
Correct.
So as Commissioner Kirschner would say, only 3% and 12 million, how does that belong in the same sentence? 3% of 12 million, unless I don't need a calculator, is 360,000. So at this point, we're 360,000 behind in revenue just on the sales tax component. Now, there's other parts that go into it, but we had a budget. We certified amount of revenue. We approved expenses within that budget. And it's still September, so we have a solid 3 more months. I just want everybody to understand, public, and maybe you might want to send an email out or something they've done a great job, all our electeds, but if people want extra money, if someone wants to come in and request money between now and the end of the year and is above and outside their budget, I think they should come in.
Are you talking just general fund?
I think general fund, I don't know, I'm making a statement because I just want us to be, COVID's over. I thought you did a good job putting the budget together. We went over it, and we're early enough that we're not having this conversation Thanksgiving or anything like that for year end, right? I still think you got time to maybe make some cuts, look at some things, try to help us come in and balance that budget. And this is, since I've been here, sales tax has always gone up.
Yeah.
It just goes up all the time. when it goes up to 500,000, 400,000, 500,000 every year. And this year, it's gone down, so.
Well, and last year,
We've had the luxury of that extra tax
Correct.
of the budget, and we're just not in that position right now.
correct, last year, we collected, just under 2% less than what was actually
Yeah, last year began
Yeah.
the trend, so, but we.
correct.
We didn't raise the projection either.
No, we did not.
Yeah. So, this is a statement, we got Commissioner Frankic here, I know you're in the middle all the time, but I think, we're not in dire straits, but everybody's got to tighten up a little bit. We should be in good shape.
Yeah, I'd agree with Commissioner Paradiso. If somebody's gonna come in here and ask us for money, I don't want it in an email, or if you're gonna ask for more money, come up to the meeting. I
I mean,
guess
you have
would be my request.
Yeah, we have a $20+ million budget, and we're trying to even 350,000 behind. I think we can make that up. We can tighten up and cover that. Everybody's got to do their part. John, how much duct tape do you have over there at maintenance?
Not that much.
Okay.
I can fix a lot of things.
Might want to put that in your budget.
Yeah. All right, I said enough there on old business. And I mean this in a positive way, because we all want to do the right thing and be fiscally responsible and keep the county in good health. And we want to pay our bills, and we don't want to have, all this stress at the end of the year and that potentially we could have. Back to you.
Okay. In new business, I have several supplemental appropriations. A couple of them are to establish budgets for funds, so I will kind of go through those quickly. But the first one is the Sheriff's Commissary Fund for license, software license and service in the amount of $6,570. Obviously, this is for additional services, software that they have. And then the next few are going to be for the BJA grant fund, salaries in the amount of $31,000, supplies for $1,500, contract services for $1,500. Contract repairs for $1,500, contract services for $750, software license and service for $750, travel and expenses for $2,500, other expenses for $1,500, Medicare for $449.50, workers' compensation for $620, HSA contribution for $800, hospitalization for $8,694, and for OPERS for $4,340. Again, this is for a new budget to establish the pivot department. These are all grant fund. This is a grant fund that we receive.
Got it.
And then the Ohio Mental Health and Addiction Services Grant Fund. Again, these are all listed for this fund. Salaries in the amount of $14,250, supplies for $6,000, contract services for $10,500, Medicare for $206.75, workers' compensation for $285, HSA contribution for $400, hospitalization for $3,846.75, and OPERS for $1,195. Again, this is a grant, and it is to establish the new department for Pivot.
Must be a new hire, I can tell by the HSA.
They're
Mid-year, right?
They are hiring, yes, they are hiring,
Prorated.
I believe there's 4, maybe 5 that they will be hiring for the new Pivot department. That we are moving away from Oriana House providing our Pivot services.
And they
For the
scaled, and they
judges.
kind of scaled that down from what it was previously.
Yeah, I believe Oriana House had 12 or 13 employees, and I believe they are going to 5 or 6.
Judges did a good job.
5.5 maybe, I'm not exactly sure, but that's what those are for.
I'll make a motion that we approve the supplemental appropriations as presented.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
The next on the items is a tabled supplemental appropriation from the previous meeting. It was for general fund, for salaries for $3,679.83. Medicare for $96.56, OPERS for $932.29, and the salary sewer district administration for $1,950.47. I asked this to be tabled last week because I was trying to get with the auditor's office to verify, but I believe we came to the conclusion that these amounts have already been collected for the administration fee because we did a yearly fee back in June. She did an estimate of what she thought it was going to be for the entire year. And so they don't need this money as of yet. I think there's going to be a true up probably November, December timeframe to get her to her, I believe it's a 5% administration fee for the year. So I'm
Leave it tabled or?
So I'm asking, so my request for this is to deny these supplemental appropriations because they are not necessary.
And then settle it.
We'll do a true up in end of November, December timeframe to make sure that she gets all of her administration fee.
We don't have a motion or anything, we don't need it.
I'll make a motion that we
yeah.
deny the
Fair.
tabled supplemental appropriations from the previous meeting out of the general fund for salaries, Medicare, PERS, and salary sewer district admin.
That's good, I understand. Yes. Second.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
And then on to resolutions.
Our intent still, we're gonna settle up.
Correct, yeah.
She's gonna get paid, it's
She's
just-
gonna get her money. We've
We
just,
just don't wanna,
basically she
we
has,
wanna do it that
she
way.
has a bank. And
Understand.
so all the fees, every time that she does a billing or she collects, she keeps track of that. And then I'm just reducing from that bank that she's received.
No, that's good.
Okay, so on to resolutions. A resolution accepting the resignation of Christopher East as full-time paramedic for the Seneca County EMS effective October 7th.
Motion to approve the resolution?
I'll second that. Roll call.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
resolution approving the amendment to the contract for victim assistance services. This contract is going, they modified the annual payment to $30,000 effective January 1st, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Yeah, second. Discussion? Good? Okay. Go.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
okay, so this one I am going to ask that we table for the time being. But I do, since it's on board, I would like to read it and then we can table it for next meeting. Resolution authorizing the Seneca County Commissioners to enter into an agreement with RS Associates LLC. This is for the EMA, I believe it's for mitigation.
Yep, our 5-year mitigation plan.
Make a motion that we table the resolution.
Second that. Discussion now or?
Yeah, we can do discussion now before we
Okay,
vote.
Go ahead.
It was brought to my attention early this morning that Director Spar had sent me that he received late yesterday confirmation from the state EMA that our FEMA BRIC grant was approved for this mitigation plan. So we need to pass a resolution to designate John Spar, the Director of EMA, to sign off on the paperwork. Am I
The
correct in
agreement
saying
with
that?
the state, yeah.
Okay, agreement with the state. So this needs to be done first,
Okay.
and then you have to sign this paperwork, and then we can pass next week, or?
Yes, if we sign that paperwork, I can go down and sign the grant agreement because I'm the signatory.
Okay,
By that, and we can't sign that contract before the grant agreement is signed, or we can't use the grant.
I get it.
And
And
it's.
it's $25,000 that
Pass it down.
Yeah, so we were about to
$25,000.
do it without them. It's taken them 11 months to get back to us on the grant. And so I had everything ready for today, and last night they said, hey, you got the grant, and I went, hold on a second, because we'll get 100% of that back. It's not, it's an 80-20 grant, but we can use in-kind, so everybody who participates has a dollar amount assigned to it, and we go over that 20% every time we do
When you
that.
started, you did
That was
the
my
last 5 year
first
plan. I
thing.
remember. Was that right or not?
Yeah, that was my absolute first thing.
Because
They
I've
hired
been
me and
here-
said, here's the
I've
mitigation
been here over
plan.
5 years.
Go
You
right
came
in.
in and you started it. Yeah, that
That's
was
right.
one of your first meetings. I
Yep.
remember, I was sitting right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, 5 years, Sam.
Yep.
So do we need a motion for that?
Yeah, I'm
You're
jotting
working
my,
on it?
I'm jotting my,
Table.
my information down here real
Yeah,
quick.
so we'll take action here in a minute and that'll be good.
Okay.
So you applied for this grant and just got word? that-
Yes, I applied last October.
Yeah, a year ago, and they.
Yeah,
You just got word.
Yep. You know, the state got through theirs by the beginning, turned it over to FEMA, and it's taken them 9 months now to approve it.
But we'll take it.
Yeah, yeah, we will.
It's the federal
Yeah.
government.
Yep, and so that's $25,500 that I had in my, I added to my budget to pay for this. Now, we'll still need to spend that money, but we will reimburse every penny of it back. So it'll be a wash at the end.
You're contributing to cost savings
Yes.
with us. Thank you.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna refer it back to this and go, sign it, please, because it's my,
Thank you. That's good, John. Good job.
So I'm going to ask that you pass a resolution designating John Spar, EMA Director, to sign the grant agreement with, is this FEMA or is this the state?
this will be with the state of Ohio,
With the state of
because
Ohio.
they're the sub-grant guarantor.
I'll make a motion that we approve this.
Second the motion.
Any further discussion? Good? Roll call.
Mr. Shuff?
Yes.
Mr. Paradiso?
Yes.
So I will, I'll write a resolution to the effect, and I believe, sign here, Tyler, and then Tony can sign below.
Okay.
And we can get that taken care of for Mr. Spar.
Commissioners, so what's gonna happen next is with that authorization, I'll go down to Columbus as soon as I hear back from the grant administrator, who has offered to expedite this because he knows we're on a timeline. And I'll drive down there, sign the paperwork, bring it back. Once that paperwork is signed, we can sign the contract, because any work being done prior to that contract signed and the agreement about the grant being signed, I can't bill.
Surprised they're making you drive down to do it. You can't sign it via dot loop or
There's a-
online or.
You know what, I'm willing to drive down to sign this one. Normally, I would say, normally what happens is they get everybody who's doing their mitigation plan into one room centrally. And we all go, they walk through the procedure and everybody signs their stuff and you're done. But he knows that this, we should have started working on this in April, but we've been waiting for the grant. And with the contractor, she said, that's okay, as long as we start by October, we'll be fine, because we have to have it in by January 25th, 2025, or else anything that we want to pay to use a grant for in between the time ours expires and the time we can get it in will not be covered at all. So if we have a disaster during that time, we're on our own. I don't want that. I want an overlap.
I was just trying to save you some fuel.
You know what? This is one of those things that I emailed Lou on this morning, the grants administrator, said, get me on your books as soon as possible.
See him do a little relationship
Oh, yeah.
building down there, but.
Yep, and I'll go down and I'll take a couple other meetings while I'm down there with
Yeah.
them, so I'll make it worthwhile.
Okay. I'll get this to you.
Yep, that's fine. The next thing I have is resolution adopting monitoring policy for sub-recipients of federal grant funds.
Make a motion to approve this.
Second.
Okay, back to you.
I'll just give you a little bit of information. So this kind of goes back to the BJA grant that we get from the federal government. We had an audit of our grant, I think it was the last grant period. So they said, we need to see this policy. Well, this policy was not, we didn't have a policy in place, so we are passing it so that we can rectify the audit issue that they had. And
You have a
reading,
certain date on it?
it's just effective as soon as it's entered into.
How
And they
long
are,
do we have?
and they are okay with that.
I remember.
It's just, and I believe Magistrate Clayson actually worked to get this taken care of, so that we could continue to receive that BJA grant, because it's a lot of money that the county receives for that.
Thank you, Magistrate Clayson. Thank you. Okay,
Commissioner
roll call.
Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
And then the last resolution I have is supporting and encouraging the Seneca County Health District to appeal the Ohio EPA's decision approving an expansion of the landfill operated by Wind Waste Innovations.
Motion to approve the resolution?
Okay, I'll second. This discussion? Anything?
I would say that it goes along with the city of Fostoria. They have also passed a resolution.
It's just, I guess
We're just
we'd be
supporting them.
Supporting the city of Fostoria. Okay,
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
yes.
I have nothing else at this time.
Okay. Before we open up public comment, I have a couple trivia things. It's 11 o'clock, I want to get this out. September 22nd, 1824 was the first jury trial in Seneca County. Jesse Spencer sued Tiffin founder Joshua Hedges.
Josiah.
Josiah, I say that every time. Where's Bryce at?
Sorry. Historical Society's gonna get empty
Hey,
again.
You went and spoke.
I stood up at the Ritz
I know.
and mispronounced his name
20
20 times. And Mary Lewis was sitting next to me and.
Joshua Hedges.
I did it every time. Anyhow, Spencer sued the Tiffin's founder, and Spencer had constructed a dam in the Sandusky River to benefit his sawmill. Hedges moved the dam to serve his own purposes, and Spencer won the case back in 1824, 200 years ago. He started. It's great. So I'll leave it. Public comment, who's up? Anybody? Next meeting, right here, Thursday.
Yep, October 3rd, I believe it is.
Good to see you, Mayor. All righty, meeting adjourned. Thank you.